The ninth grade is planning a trip to Disneyland. To raise money for the trip, they had a bake sale. They charged $5 for a dozen cookies and $4 for a loaf of bread. They earned $1,675 selling 360 items. Okay? How many loaves of bread did they sell? And we have four choices here. And we're going to let X be the number of dozen cookies. Okay? And Y will be the number of loaves of bread. Okay? The number of loaves of bread. All right. Now, let's see. $5 times the number of dozen cookies. That tells you how much money they made on the cookies. And then $4 times the number of loaves of bread. That tells you the money for the loaves of bread. So you add up the money for the cookies and the money for the bread, and we total up to be this amount right here. All right? Now, the number of loaves of bread is Y. The number of dozen cookies is X. So the number of cookies plus the number of loaves is a total of 360 items. Okay? So your cookies and your bread total up to be 360. All right? All right. Now, I'm going to take negative 5 times X. See, I have 5X on the first one, on the first equation. I have X on the second equation. If I want to get rid of the X here, I want to turn this into a negative 5X. Okay? So I'm going to take negative 5 times X, negative 5 times Y, and negative 5 times 360. Okay? Negative 5 times X, negative 5 times Y, negative 5 times 360. 360 times negative 5 is a negative 1800. So when you take negative 5 times the second equation here, you get this equation. Now we can put these together. Let's move it up to the top, write this one up here, and then write this one right underneath it. Okay? And then add the equations together. We're going to cancel out the x's, so we're not going to deal with the cookies. Okay? We're going to take 4y minus 5y. Now 4 minus 5 is a negative 1. And 1675 minus 1800 is negative 125. Okay? So we're going to divide by the coefficient of the variable. Take this and divide it by the coefficient of the variable, which is negative 1. And divide the right side by negative 1. So y equals 125. Okay? Y is 125. Now if you want to solve it for x, remember x plus your y, which is 125, is 360. X plus 125 is 360 because y is 125. Subtract 125 from both sides. X will equal, and subtract those, you're going to get 235. Okay? Now be careful. X is the cookies. Okay? X is the cookies. And so X back here was the 235. So don't choose 35. That's the cookies. Okay? The bread is the 125. So come back up here. We want to pick Y because Y was the number of loaves of bread. Okay? So we're going to pick the 125. Do not pick the 235 because you would have the dozen cookies, the number of dozen cookies. And we're looking for the loaves of bread. We're looking for Y, which we said was 125.